From the station with the most local news, Fox 17 News starts now with a winter weather alert.
Taking a live look at the conditions from our Fox 17 Weather Warrior, our new critical tool we have in weather reporting. Our crew is in the Muskegon area. That's where you're seeing that right now, tracking down the storm and checking on road conditions and that lake effect snow that we're seeing in parts of West Michigan. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Josh Berry.
And I'm Reese Cole, and we just want to start with the lake effect snow that's been really persistent here.
We're looking at this video, and visibility, obviously, an issue out there for anybody out on the roads.
Yes, but it's really variable because it's lake effect. It's going to hit in some spots for 20, 30 minutes and then fade away and come back, and it's just been ebbs and flows.
Yeah, and that's been the good thing about our Weather Warrior vehicles. We can track down those storms. We can go chase them and show you where the storm is hitting when we're seeing it.
It's a great feature to have here in West Michigan, and we're going to be able to utilize it more than just lake effect snow, but severe weather come this spring. But for now, look at these lake effect snow reports. Port Sheldon, 12.5 inches. West Olive, 10 inches. They've had a little bit of a pause in Ottawa County for snow in the last couple of hours, but Van Buren now 7.5 inch report in Hartford and a lot of areas in Berrien County at around 1/2 foot of snow. You can see light lake effect in far southwest Michigan, but a pretty good swath. That's where our Weather Warrior is in Muskegon County, and some really heavy snow that's about to move in to the city of Muskegon along US 31. Travel being impacted Whitehall, Twin Lake, even as far east as Grant and Kent City along M37 and parts of western Kent County. We do have some other waves of lighter snow from South Haven, and then some moderate bands in Benton Harbor, Berrien County area. Those are much more isolated and not lasting, or at least being nearly as impactful for longer periods of time than what is moving from north to south up in the Muskegon area, because that line is going to be moving right into Ottawa County over the next hour. Our temperatures have really dropped in Holland. We saw some clearing in the sky. It was a flash freeze there, and that's going to be a potential for a lot of areas inland tonight. As temperatures are already at 24 in Grand Rapids, we're looking to get down to around 20 degrees. Wet roadways, slushy spots, a lot of the stuff that kind of melted midday really going to refreeze tonight. So we're going to watch for icy conditions, even just walking your driveway, going to be some slick spots as well. North wind fairly quiet, and tomorrow we do start to see the lake effect take a little bit of a pause into the middle of the week.
People listening to that new 200 feet law?
Not really, no.
A reminder tonight that new state law requires drivers stay back at least 200 feet from plows. That's about 10 to 12 car lengths, or if you don't, you risk a penalty. Also, you can pass the plows, but only on the left. The name of the game is protecting them and you. Fox 17 rode along with Ottawa County road crews today. They asked that you remember the rules of the road.
Pretty interesting. I didn't think we were going to get this much snow, and then there's a lot of people that are getting in the way today.
Also today, a multi-vehicle crash shut down I-94 in both directions. State police tell us 17 vehicles were involved, 14 cars, 3 semis. This happened in the westbound lanes near Hartford. We're told there were also 15 vehicle slide-offs separate from the crashes. At last check, I-94 was still closed both ways. You're seeing video from earlier today. MSP says driving too fast in these gnarly conditions could have caused the crash and additional slide-offs. With lake effect snow, you can have stretches of clear roads with no snow. Then in a matter of minutes, you can be driving in whiteout conditions, making driving dangerous. And continuing our weather coverage, as a large portion of our lakeshore communities could be hit with more lake effect snow overnight. Our Matt Whitkos joins us live tonight in Ottawa County with what you're seeing there. Hey, Matt.
Josh, it's quiet where we're standing at, but it really depends on where you are in Ottawa County. We understand that Port Sheldon got more than a foot of snow. Here in Holland, it's a different picture. The only snow that we're kind of seeing on the ground right now is what accumulated over the weekend. And the downtown area really benefits from a real infrastructure that they have built here, where miles and miles of pipes have been laid out in the downtown area underneath the sidewalks and the streets that pump in hot water that's able to melt all the snow and ice that accumulates here on the sidewalks and the streets. But once you get outside the downtown area, that's where there's a little bit of a different picture. And delivery drivers know that when they're out for deliveries. Now, Crust 54, Holland's Deep Ditch Pizza, relies on Uber Eats and DoorDash for delivery. Owner Matt Klaus explains that they typically get roughly a dozen delivery orders a day. Klaus says tonight they got around a half a dozen delivery orders. He says the last time they had a big winter storm was 5 years ago. The pizza shop owner says that they see a slight uptick in deliveries when we get a snowstorm. We're expecting snow in Ottawa County. Klaus has a tip for people getting delivery, even if it's not his spot.
time. I mean, you take extra time to go places. Don't get all bent out of shape if it's 5-10 minutes longer than you thought it would be. Just give people some grace. And I mean, if you don't want to go out there to get it, odds are the person bringing it to you is also having a hard time getting it to you.
Klaus says that they also have options for people in case a snowstorm was to happen. People could stock up. He says that Crust 54 offers pizza kits, which gives a box of ingredients for people to make at home. He says it's a good way to keep children busy during a big snowstorm. We're reporting live here in Holland. I'm Matt Woodcoast, Fox 17 News.
A good reminder about all the people out in the service industries doing things for us when we want to stay home. Matt, thank you for your time. All right, if you want to stay up to date with winter storm warnings, conditions, and more, the Fox 17 weather app has you covered. You can get your local forecast on the go. Stay ahead of bad weather as best as possible. It's available for Android and Apple devices. This winter, layering up is key to staying warm, but it's an unfortunate reality that winter coats are not a given for everybody, which is why one Spring Lake woman has decided to give back to the West Michigan community through a unique concept. Fox 17's Walid Alamla has their story new tonight at 10.
The winter weather has found its way here to West Michigan with that snow falling in the cold in our forecast for the next couple of months. But worrying about staying warm shouldn't be a concern for anyone. And that's why these take a coat, leave a coat racks are starting to find their way to stores all around West Michigan. Kristen Horan has always tried to give back.
So we've kind of, as a family, always tried to put care packages together, get our warm clothes, and make sure they went directly to the source.
And this year,
we realized we had quite a bit.
An idea came to mind after a friend recently opened up a business in Grand Haven.
I knew that if I gave her a call with a crazy idea of a coat rack out front, with a take a coat, leave a coat, she would be game. And so that's kind of where it started.
Perfect timing as that winter weather really starts to pick up.
We realized there was a lot of need in the community for warm coats, and it kind of took off from there. We see people come in with piles of coats, and then we'll be there the next day or the day after, and many of those coats are gone.
The need's so important that Kristen has opened up 3 more coat racks around West Michigan, including here at Transfigure Print Company in Grand Rapids, which has some extra support for those in need.
Nothing is better sometimes than a warm pair of socks or a warm hat or a snack when you haven't had food for a while.
The care kits have all the essentials.
First aid kits and soap and triple antibiotic cream in some of these smaller packages. And so depending on what your needs are, hopefully we have something that'll help out.
Kristen hopes projects like this inspire others to give back.
We've worked very hard for the place that we are in our lives, but that didn't come without an immense amount of privilege. And I really want people to understand, and my boys to understand, that we all have the power to give at the capacity that we have, and whatever that looks like is great.
These hygiene care kits are set up right now in front of Transfigure and are free for the public to grab. Christine hopes to add more locations all across West Michigan. But for now, reporting in Grand Rapids, Walid Adamna, Fox 17 News.
Michigan's Supreme Court has cleared the way for a former Grand Rapids police officer to face trial. Christopher Scher is charged with second-degree murder in the death of Patrick Leoya. That shooting happened in April of 2022 near Nelson and Griggs on Grand Rapids' southeast side. The interaction was caught on camera. 26-year-old Leoya was killed at the end of the traffic stop. He was shot in the back of the head. Scher's lawyers say he should not face charges, arguing deadly force was justified as the 2 men fought for control of a taser. Last year, a Grand Rapids judge said there was enough evidence to move the case to trial. Earlier this year, Michigan's Court of Appeals affirmed that decision, and today, in a 5-2 order, state Supreme Court let the Court of Appeals opinion stand. In a statement, Kent County Prosecutor Chris Becker said in part, the courts at all levels have consistently held throughout this process that the charges were justified and the case should proceed to have a jury decide the matter. Adding, we hope to move forward as quickly as possible to have a final resolution for Patrick's family, who has been patiently waiting for years for this to occur. Meanwhile, one of Scher's attorneys says he believes the appeal should be heard, writing in part, we firmly believe that the questions raised in this matter are critical not only to Officer Scher, but to all similarly situated police officers across Michigan. Adding, while we respect the court's decision, we remain steadfast in our commitment to justice. Officer Scher is innocent, and we are fully prepared to demonstrate that in court. There isn't a timeline yet for a possible trial. Typically, there are several procedural hearings before criminal cases like this go before a jury. You can count on us for updates. Tonight, a school employee in Kent County is accused of using social media to obtain illicit images from students. The unidentified 20-year-old Rockford man was arrested today. We're told he was a part-time auditorium technician for the Cedar Springs Public School District and also graduated from that high school. We're told he created multiple accounts on social media to contact female students to request and pay for illicit images. He faces 2 charges, including child sexually abusive activity and using a computer to commit a crime. The district has since fired that suspect. Fox 17 also received a statement from the district superintendent saying prior to employment, all applicants are vetted through a rigorous process of background checks and reviews. Continuous training and attention to student safety and well-being is an ongoing focus in our district. Turning now to Kalamazoo's Oshtemo Township, where cooking grease caused a 2,500-gallon sewer overflow. The city of Kalamazoo tells us its Department of Public Services responded to the incident at an apartment just before 11 this morning on Dragonfly Road. After doing some digging around, it was determined that the sewage overflow might have started on November 30th. We're told the blockage was caused by cooking and food grease that had been poured down the drain. It was cleared out before noon. Kalamazoo officials say the discharge made its way into a manhole and to the pond on the southeast side of Canterbury House Apartments. We are learning more tonight about a Thanksgiving Day water rescue when a car crashed into the Kalamazoo River. A fisherman saw the accident and jumped in the near freezing water to save the people inside.
So I just went down into my drawers, swam out to the vehicle, approached from the back that was floating still because the doors were closed.
Will say a medical emergency caused the driver to leave the road. Randy Fox, who you just heard from, saw it happen and jumped in before first responders got there. They were able to get the driver out first, with emergency crews helping them to the shore. The passenger was up to their shoulders by that time, with Fox staying by them until first responders were able to make it back.
By the time I got the door open, I looked back and saw Officer Beneke was returning. So I just held the passenger's hand, waited for Officer Beneke, who was probably about 4 or 5 seconds away, and then helped kind of tug them up out of the vehicle. And once Officer Beneke pulled them from the vehicle and they were dragged back with the rope, they made it to shore.
Randy believes this was one of those right place, right time moments in life. The driver and passenger were taken to a hospital with the driver in critical condition. We have not received health updates for that couple since then. Tonight, we are checking on the status of President-elect Trump's transition team. We take a trip to Capitol Hill with some of his nominees and what kind of pushback is coming their way.
A first-time mom in Rockford hand-stitched a special donation for Helen DeVos Children's Hospital, inspired by her 11-month-old son. Learn more about the purpose behind this project coming up.
The Israeli military says a missing American Israeli soldier was killed during Hamas's October 7th attacks. 21-year-old Omer Maxim Nutra was previously believed to be alive and being held hostage by Hamas. However, the Israeli military said today that Nutra was killed in the deadly attack that took almost 2,000 lives. Israel says his body is being held hostage in Gaza. In a statement, President Biden says he is outraged by news of his death and he will not stop working to bring the other hostages home. Nutra was one of 7 Americans held in Gaza. 4 have since been pronounced dead. For the second time now, Elon Musk's record-breaking pay package for serving as Tesla's chief executive has been blocked. The pay package is worth $56 billion and was blocked again today by the same judge who stopped the payout earlier this year. However, Tesla shareholders approved the deal in June, but it still needed court approval. Today, the judge criticized Tesla's board for being too close to Musk, saying even the billionaire has admitted to only negotiating with himself to come up with his pay package. Tonight, the nation continues to react to President Biden giving his son Hunter a, quote, full and unconditional pardon. The younger Biden had faced up to 42 years in prison for gun and tax crimes. The president said he changed his mind about pardoning his son because he thinks politics led to a miscarriage of justice. Many Republicans are blasting his decision. One person who has been critical of the decision is President-elect Donald Trump. Still, he continues to focus on making more picks for his incoming administration. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill and some are meeting the proposed cabinet members before their next confirmation hearings next month. Connor Hansen reports.
Pete Hegseth, President-elect Trump's choice to lead the Defense Department, visited Capitol Hill, hoping to win more support from senators who will vote on his confirmation. During his hearing, Hegseth will likely face scrutiny following new reports alleging sexual, financial, and personal misconduct in his past.
I've known him for a long time, and there's not going to be anything to this at the end of the day.
Trump's pick for Attorney General Pam Bondi also met with high-ranking senators.
She's a great choice, been a long-time friend. I think the right person at the right time. I look forward to next year.
Thank you, Senator.
And the nominations are still coming. Trump chose billionaire investor Warren Stevens as U.S. ambassador to the United Kingdom. Stevens donated millions to help Trump get elected. And with the president-elect suggesting pushing through his picks without Senate hearings, current Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is stressing the importance of the process, writing a letter to incoming Republican leader John Thune.
It will be the responsibility of the incoming majority and the incoming majority leader to ensure that the authority of the Senate is carried out and preserved.
Schumer says he also wants FBI background checks for all the cabinet nominees. Senator Thune has said he would prefer not to use recess appointments, but has not explicitly ruled them out. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
We're continuing to cover the winter weather outside, and you're back with another check of the forecast coming up.
Yeah, lake effect snow hitting in waves. A pretty good one coming into Muskegon County right now. Moving towards Ottawa County overnight. We'll break down accumulations and what it means for the travel impacts tomorrow morning ahead.
We're also checking in on local ski areas to see if all this winter weather will mean you getting to hit the slopes in the near future. Welcome back. We have some good news for anyone hoping to hit the slopes. Bittersweet Ski Resort in Otsego Township is open for the season. The ski area was making snow over the holiday weekend on top of the snow that fell, and it's getting even more. Allegan County is one of the lakeshore counties under a winter storm warning until 1 in the morning, and it could see several inches of snow between now and then. Not a bad way to kick off the skiing and snowboarding season after a disappointing season last winter due to mild temps and a lack of snow. 11 of Bittersweet's 19 runs are open, and manager Nick Ross says it's nothing but powder.
So we're hoping by the weekend we'll have our race hill going, but right now we have our main run and everything to the beginner side. We're going to keep making snow as much as we can and just try to get the place 100% open, and from there we're going to keep stockpiling as much as we can on the runs until we warm up.
Bittersweet is closed for the day, but it looks like it will be open for the rest of the week into the weekend. In Van Buren County, which is also under that winter storm warning, that's good timing for Timber Ridge ski area in Gobles. It's been making snow nonstop since Friday with a little help from Mother Nature as well. That's the focus right now, so the ski area can get ahead of any potential warm-ups in the next few weeks. A Timber Ridge spokesperson told Fox 17 opening day discussions were held this morning, but there's still no official date that's been set just yet. However, we're told the hope is to open for the season in a week or two. In Kent County, Cannonsburg Ski Area says on its website that it plans to open on December 14th. The ski area staff posted this video on Facebook Friday showing crews hard at work making snow on Thanksgiving. Cannonsburg is hoping for the longest and snowiest winter yet.
This is a Fox 17 winter weather alert.
Reese joins us now. And Reese, I know a lot of ski resorts in the area are hoping that this snow sticks around.
Yeah, just as they're getting ready to open, it may look like by the end of the 7-day forecast, we could be warming things up just a little bit. But are you a skier at all, Josh?
I've made it out to Cannonsburg a couple of times, but hope to see some more.
Yeah, it is a great time if you can get out there to do so, especially with the fresh powder like this, really light and fluffy lake effect snow compared to the wet and heavy stuff that comes from any organized system. So that's what we've seen here really the last several days. But notice in the grassy surfaces here in Audubon Park, starting to see a little bit of melting. Grand Rapids hasn't seen much snow today, just 0.3 of an inch officially at the airport. and South Haven. This has been really the bullseye area of the heaviest snow here today. A lot of that fresh powder adding to it at the beach and areas inland. Now we turn our attention to northwestern Kent County, as well as Muskegon and northern Ottawa County. We're going to continue to see this snow move off to the south, but you can see some heavier pockets in there in the darker blues right along the lakeshore, again along and west of US 31. We do have these lines of more lake effects setting up in South Haven, just about to get to 196 once again, but Holland, Saugatuck going to be some of the last to see this secondary wave move in. Now we're still under the winter storm warning until 7 a.m. for Van Buren, Allegan, and Ottawa counties, and the advisory, which you're pretty much seeing the snow representative of the advisory right now. And then there's the winter storm warning down near the state line until 10 a.m. Travel impacts, I think, are going to still be variable and could get pretty bad along I-94 again tomorrow morning as that wave in Muskegon County moves to the south here. That'll be there around 4 or 5 a.m. Could impact some early morning travel. The midday will still have some issues, but then by the evening hours, we should dry out completely. And with temperatures near freezing, I think we'll see a lot of melting and just some wet roadways rather than slick. So here we are into the hour by hour, and you can see that swath still expected to be down near Holland and into Allegan County around 1 to 2 a.m., making its way near I-94. Could push a little further inland this time around by 5 a.m. So again, could have some slick travel there and reduce visibility into Tuesday morning, especially that I-196, I-94 corridor, and even into noon. Still going to be an issue for some, and then it should dry out quite quickly around 2 to 3 p.m. And we'll see a few breaks in the clouds briefly. A dry Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then Wednesday morning we'll start to track some snow to our north, maybe even a few raindrops as temperatures will get back to the mid-30s. So there's that line of snow. You can see in the hour by hour it picks up on it cleanly, but we're still looking at bullseye areas to get that 3 to 4 inch snow total. Holland potentially in that as well. Just depends on how long the snow lasts in a given area at a given time, because the snowfall rates are going to be high. Just how quickly does it pass through? So again, a little melting expected on Wednesday with highs in the mid-30s, but it's a cold front Wednesday night into Thursday. We're back to the 20s and those upper teens. Looks like lake effect's going to build right back in as well. So within that, it's a big cool down. Let's break down the jet stream here on the Super 7-day. You can see that the cool air just sits there and then just continues to wrap right back around towards us, but we swing back warmer by the time we get to the first full weekend of December.
Parents will often do their best to make sure their children, when faced with adversity, feel accepted and seen. Tonight, how one West Michigan mom's donation to the Children's Hospital was inspired by her own son's challenges. A Rockford mom has spent the last 3 months preparing to make a special donation to Helen DeVos Children's Hospital in honor of her 11-month-old son. New tonight, Fox 17's Olivia Tuma learned more about the purpose behind the project. Olivia?
Yeah, Josh, I got to sit down with the mom and her son Roy today, and he just could not get enough of that camera. But I did learn that Roy has an extra accessory on his little face that sets him apart and gave his mom the inspiration to reach other kids like him.
This is Roy.
To know he was going to need glasses as an infant and his entire life essentially was hard.
This is Roy's mom, Kirsten.
Now we couldn't imagine him without them.
You want your glasses on?
And these are the glasses Roy's been wearing since he was 5 months old.
He was born with a couple abnormalities that we didn't know about until he was born. And one of those was a cyst on his eye.
Doctors at Helen DeVos Children's Hospital have cared for Roy since birth, informing his parents that he would need to wear a patch on his eye for 2 hours a day.
Having a newborn, but also patching a newborn for 2 hours a day was a bit of a learning curve.
Now, at nearly a year old, he needs to wear the patch for 4 hours a day to make sure his brain is utilizing the eye with poor vision. Kirsten and her husband decided they wanted to do something to make Roy feel less alone. So when Roy got glasses, so did they.
The glasses I'm wearing are fake. I wear them for him so that I look like him.
And that's what inspired the idea to sew many pairs of glasses onto teddy bears.
I thought, what can we do for other kids getting glasses for the first time?
Kirsten sewed 100 pairs of glasses onto 100 teddy bears to donate to Roy's ophthalmology clinic, so that any kid who needs glasses will also get
a teddy bear with glasses that look like them.
These kids and their parents now left with a permanent reminder that others look like them too.
It'll not only make a child smile to receive a bear with glasses, but I think it'll touch the parents as well, and that makes my heart happy as a mom.
Roy is scheduled to have eye surgery in January to shave down the cyst on his eye, but he remains a happy baby. And I just wanted to say for Roy, look, I have glasses too. In studio, Olivia Yatuma, Fox 17 News.
All right, Olivia, thank you. A local Christmas tree farm is helping make sure our active military members have a tree this holiday season. This year marks the 20th annual Trees for Troops event, sending trees to military bases all over the country. And today was loading day, preparing the trees for delivery.
It puts, locally Michigan-grown Christmas trees in the hands of troops across the nation. 93 bases across the nation are going to receive Christmas trees that are donated from farms just like this right here. Wamha Farms is contributing their time and efforts in trees so that military men and women can celebrate Christmas around a Michigan-grown Christmas tree.
Oh, I think it's making memories with their family. They're able to decorate these trees, and sometimes it's the first real Christmas tree they've ever had, so it's such a special time for their family.
As of right now, trees from Wamha Farms will be sent to Columbus Air Force Base in Mississippi and Fort Knox in Kentucky. As of today, you can start making reservations for the opening of the Rosa Parks Circle Ice Rink in downtown Grand Rapids. The city announced last week that the season will begin this Thursday, December 5th. Tickets cost $6 for adults, $3 for kids, anyone under 18. That includes rental skates as well. Reservations are not required, but if you do make them, it gives you priority access over any walk-ups. The 5th annual Battle of the Bulbs in Barry County is back for its 5th year. Anyone who lives within the county can participate by snapping a photo of their setup and sending it to the email address on your screen. The top residential prize is $250 in Barry bucks, and the winning business gets a trophy. Submissions are due by Friday. The public will have until December 15th to vote for their favorites on the Barry County Chamber's Facebook page. Happening Thursday, the city of Walker will host its annual Walker Winterfest from 5:30 to 7. The event will take place both inside and outside the Walker Ice and Fitness Center. Guests can enjoy hot cocoa, cookies, take pictures with Santa, see live reindeer, and enjoy performances by the Kenowa Hills High School Marching Band and the orchestra and the Kenowa Hills Dance Team. There will also be free ice skating. The evening will culminate with a tree lighting ceremony with the mayor and city commissioners. Zeeland's annual Holiday Power Dollars program is back. That tradition began over 30 years ago. It encourages people to light up their homes and support small businesses in the city. Electric customers can claim 15 power dollars from the Board of Public Works to spend at participating businesses. That program runs now through January 31st. In addition to that, the board is also hosting a holiday home decorating contest. You can find details on their Facebook page. In Geneva Township, people were displaced this evening by an apartment fire. We're told firefighters were dispatched to Picture Lakes apartments just after 6 o'clock. Thankfully, everyone inside the two-story building made it out safely. South Haven Area Emergency Services tells us it thinks the fire may have started in an unoccupied unit before it spread to the attic. And as we can see from the pictures, firefighters had to do their jobs as snow blanketed the area. They actually had to shuttle water from a nearby pond to help put it out. A woman was hurt after being assaulted inside a Holland Township apartment this afternoon. Deputies responded to the incident in the 3000 block of Mill Pond Drive at around 4 o'clock, according to the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office. We're told the passerby saw the victim leap from a window before the call was made. The Sheriff's Office says the 23-year-old was assaulted by a 31-year-old man that she does know. The suspect reportedly carried a handgun at the time, although it was not fired. Deputies tell us the woman was hospitalized for her injuries. They were unable to find the suspect. Tonight, police in Holland are investigating a possible drive-by shooting that happened just after 11 o'clock on Saturday night. Officers were called to a home off of West 19th Street after a man reported hearing 2 or 3 pops outside his house. He went out there and found what looked like bullet holes in the siding of his home. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Investigators believe the suspect may have been driving a mid-2000s Jeep Grand Cherokee. If you happen to know anything, call law enforcement or Silent Observer. The mother of the Oxford High School shooter is challenging her conviction. In a 34-page legal brief, the attorney for Jennifer Crumbley claims she did not get a fair trial. She cites legal errors, evidence being withheld, and key witnesses who entered cooperation agreements to testify against her. About 8 months ago, Jennifer Crumbley was sentenced to 10 to 15 years on involuntary manslaughter charges, which is the same sentence her husband received. The Crumbleys are the first parents in the U.S. to be convicted in a mass school shooting that was carried out by their child.
The Lions have been battered with injuries on defense. Dan Campbell talks reinforcements that they brought in. Plus, the Grand Rapids Rise are getting set for year number 2 in the Pro Volleyball Federation. We hear from them next in sports.
Waves of lake effect snow continue, but looking pretty chilly if you're off the lakeshore. Could see some flash freeze in spots with the wet roadways getting icy for your Tuesday morning commute.
The Lions defense has been battered with injuries. Detroit signing a handful of veteran players, including former Pro Bowl linebacker Quan Alexander, to the active roster. The Lions also signed former All-Pro defensive back Jamal Adams to the practice squad.
Having the right balance of, vets who've been able to, they played in this league, man, they understand it. It's not too big for them. Plug and play, serve a role, a purpose, you know exactly what they can do, and you appreciate that about them. This will be good getting Jamal here. We'll see if there's a place for him. It just gives us options.
Michigan shocking the world over the weekend. The Wolverines knocking off the Buckeyes. Both teams were fined $100,000 for the postgame incident on the field, but Michigan comes back to Ann Arbor with the win.
Well, I brought them all up, and we just said, hey, listen to the crowd. And it was quiet. We talked about their boos being our cheers and investing in the time and taking care of each other. And we said, this is Ann Arbor right now. This is our house. So we want to take it to them, and those guys finish it off.
The high school football season is in the books. Hudsonville, Byron Center, and Zeeland West were all at Ford Field over the weekend. The Ducks are your Division III state champions. Zeeland West beat Detroit Martin Luther King on Saturday, 42-22. We caught up with them after the game. When you look back on this season, what will you remember most?
Oh boy, a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of memories from this one. More than anything, I think the effort that these guys played with and how hard they played. And we had 6 or 7 guys starting both ways, and they just kept playing hard.
The Rise are gearing up for year number 2. Grand Rapids beginning training camp today after making it all the way to the Pro Volleyball Federation final in year 1. The Rise have 5 returners from last year and plenty of new faces, with the start of the season just over a month away.
I think our team came through that and did really well as we started pushing towards the end and really starting to peak at the right time and getting into the championship game. So yes, I'm real proud of our team. And now we have our sights set on a new season with new players, and we've brought them in from all over, and a lot of them recognizable through other teams that they played in the PVF. But we're ready to get rolling with this group.
The Grand Rapids Rise fans were amazing, and I'm just so excited to have that community around us. I'm excited to build on it for this next year. We have new players coming in. I'm excited to experience how wonderful our fans are.
The Red Wings are calling up Griffin's goalie Sebastian Kosa under emergency conditions after Cam Talbot went down with an injury. Kosa was the 15th pick by the Red Wings in 2021 and is one of the top prospects in the Detroit system. Kosa is 9-4 with 1 shutout through 14 games this season, while posting a .925 save percentage. The 22-year-old dominated at points last year, setting a franchise record with a 19-game point streak and winning 22 games a season ago. The Red Wings are back in action tomorrow night. That's all for sports. Reese?
This is a Fox 17 winter weather alert.
Well, the winter sports are well underway, and the winter weather is finally underway now as well in West Michigan. It didn't come until last week, Thursday, consistent snow. Well, it's been all lake effect here in West Michigan. So right to Future Track here this evening, hour by hour, we're going to continue to see those swaths of snow just move off from north to south here in West Michigan. Going to stay pretty persistent at times and then just build right on through the morning hours as well. So here's a look at the estimated snow depth now in West Michigan, mainly focused in Allegan, Van Buren, and Ottawa County. This is where the winter storm warning has been for the majority of West Michigan. And you can see there are some pockets of that darker blue, which comes out to the 6+ window. And it's this pocket right there where we've seen the 10, 11, 12-inch reports come in just west of US 31 and about 7 to 8 inches down in the Hartford area in Van Buren County. So here we are in Holland. Things are quiet right now in between the snow south of South Haven and snow north up near Muskegon, but it looks like a really perfect December night with that. The lights are up and the snow is quiet. Most roadways are doing okay right now, but now Grand Haven, M45 about to line up with some snow showers, and this is pushing inland. Rockford, Holland, Grant, and Belding area going to be seeing those snow showers just clip parts of Kent County. Majority of the heavier stuff will stay off towards Holland, and we're starting to get this set up again down near South Haven as well. So as we circle back to Future Track, again, just seeing the localized low rotation within that. There's some areas that's going to see the snow wrap around for several hours, and then that lake effect will finally move out at around 3, 4 o'clock here in West Michigan, but we should fully dry out of snow to some capacity here into tomorrow. So hour by hour, again, still looking at 2, 3, 4 inches of snow in some spots in Allegan and Van Buren counties, and maybe even parts of Ottawa as well. If you're inland, though, off the lakeshore now, we're looking at temperatures getting really cold tonight. Low 20s here and mid 20s along the lakeshore. That could lead to that flash freeze potential. You get all the cars off the road. You get the light wind settling in as well, even a few breaks in the clouds. A radiative cooling night could lead to some really slick spots on those untreated roads or ones that were wet, and again, could turn icy. Thankfully, we will melt that away a little bit tomorrow with a high of 32, 35 on Wednesday. And then cool air moves in Thursday and Friday, upper 20s. Feels like temperatures on Thursday in the mid-teens, maybe even low teens, with a strong wind and overnight lows in the teens as well. By the time we get to the weekend, well, we see 30s and 40s set back up for us, and rain chances, no snow chances mixed within that as well. A little sunshine possible towards the end of the weekend as well. It's starting to see breaks, though, in that lake effect snow, which is a good trend after a fairly snowy stretch here.
The numbers have been crunched, and it looks like Sunday lived up to its hype as one of the busiest travel days of the year. The TSA says more than 3 million people were screened at airports across the country, making it the busiest day ever for air travel. Sunday eclipsed the previous record set in July. As for Black Friday, it also broke records for online shopping. New numbers from Adobe Analytics show that online shoppers spent almost $11 billion on Black Friday. That's more than $1 billion more than last year. Adobe expects Cyber Monday, which is today, to top Black Friday sales when the numbers are finally crunched. If you're wondering what people bought, MasterCard says electronics and apparel were the top purchases. President Biden is fulfilling a 2-year promise to visit Africa this week. He's already landed in Angola as part of his 3-day trip to counter China's growing influence on the African continent. Biden will highlight the U.S.-backed Lobito Corridor Railway redevelopment in Zambia, Congo, and Angola. The project aims to advance U.S. presence in a region that's rich in the critical minerals used in batteries for electric cars, electronic devices, and clean energy technologies. Elton John is opening up about his struggle with vision loss. On Sunday, he spoke on stage at a gala performance of The Devil Wears Prada in London and shared he was unable to see the show. John wrote the score for the stage musical. Recently, he explained he lost his sight in his right eye in July after suffering an infection and has only limited vision in his left eye. Understandably, the 77-year-old said the issue has affected his ability to work. While speaking to the audience on Sunday, John thanked his husband, David Furnish, for being his rock.
All right, one more thing tonight at 10, and you like Yule logs, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to put on a TV if, you don't have a fireplace.
Yeah.
You can have it going in the background.
Makes you think it's warmer.
Yeah, we're talking about this because of something that NASA has done recently. Take a look. Not much to see here. It's kind of an interesting video. Obviously, this is video of one of their rockets. Space fans are supposed to be over the moon. About NASA's take on a holiday Yule log video. There's no burning log in this fireplace. Instead, it's archival video of the RS-25 engines that launched the Artemis 1 rocket to the moon in November of 2022. You can kind of see it going slowly there, but it's,
a little flare.
You see more of the glow around the edge of the fireplace.
While you're watching it, you can also listen to the low-level roar of the rockets, along with some cracks and pops that you would expect from a traditional Yule log video. And the rocket engine's fireplace launched just before Thanksgiving on NASA's YouTube channel. I will definitely be at least checking it out and trying it, but I don't know how I feel about rocket noises rather than the actual pop.
Yeah, and I don't know that we could hear. I don't think we had
no
audio of it, so I was kind of hard to hear. I'll pull it up on the computer and check it out just to see. All right, that'll do it for the news at 10. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
News at 11 is coming up after this break.
One Grand Haven woman is helping to keep people warm this winter. We'll tell you about her newest concept with these take a coat, leave a coat racks straight ahead.